Docker is not just a tool, it is the hidden force behind every modern app. Let's unlock the power of Docker. Hi, this is Raviteja. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is day 41 class. In this class, we are going to learn about what is Docker, why we need Docker, what is the purpose of Docker. These things we are going to understand in today's class. Make sure that you have to practice well. If you have any queries, please let me know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Today we are going to learn about what is Docker and what is the purpose of Docker and why we need Docker. Okay, these things we are going to discuss in today's class. We open presentation over here. Okay, Docker is a containerization tool. Containerization is nothing but we are going to understand. Okay, these things we are going to see in today's class. Okay, the Docker series will be up to 10 days. So you have to follow day by day video. Okay, first I'm going to start types of servers. We have three types of servers: physical server, virtualization, and container technology. Okay, introduction to servers. Why we need servers? If you want to run an application, then definitely you need a server. Whether it is physical server, whether it is virtualization, whether it is containerization, whatever it is, the server you should have. Okay. Suppose you have a company. Okay. For company, you should have to develop a website. The website need to run on servers. Okay. For that particular time, we need server. So here, application run for business, application run on servers. Okay. The application is going to run for business. To grow the business, the application is going to run. But the application run on what? The application run on servers. If there is no server, the application won't be run. Okay, the business won't be getting. So the business is going to lose because they are not promoting using servers, right? So that's why physical servers. Physical servers are nothing but you already know what is physical servers. So you have to maintain the physical servers like this. So I want to show you. Okay, like a disk you are showing. Okay, you have to maintain everything physically. So you have to touch that and you have to maintain that physical servers entire room. And for that you have to maintain air conditioner. For that you have to maintain electricity. For that you have to maintain internet. For that you have to maintain some security as well, right? So these are the things we need to maintain whenever you are choosing physical servers. Okay, so the disadvantages in these physical servers are, so you have to pay for the salaries who are maintaining that infrastructure, and also you have to pay electricity bill, you have to pay for the internet. So everything you have to maintain, right? So these are the major disadvantages in these physical servers. Coming to virtualization. Okay, we're done with the physical servers. Now I am going to talk about virtualization. What is virtualization? Suppose this is my Windows laptop. If I want to import another operating system, which is Ubuntu, Linux, or whatever it is, I want to import another operating system that comes under the virtualization. Okay. So see, virtualization is the technique of importing guest operating system on top of host operating system. My Windows is a host operating system. I want to import Linux, another Linux operating system, another Linux. Okay. Another operating system, which is Linux, I want to import to Windows. So then my laptop is host operating system. What are the Linux I want to import, which is host operating system. Okay. So what is the disadvantages in this virtualization I want to show you? Okay. Disadvantages I want to show you. So for your Windows laptop, you are importing another Linux, right? Another OS you are importing. So for that, suppose you have 12 GB RAM and 512 GB storage. So you have to import another operating system. So the RAM and storage need to spread for that operating system as well. Okay. So suppose you take 12 GB RAM you have in Windows laptop. So for 4 GB you have to give guest operating system. And also the storage is also divided. So what happens if the dividing, so boot processing takes time and the performance is also very less, okay? And it is having some cost as well. So these are the major disadvantages you have. And also the running multiple virtual machines leads unstable performance. The performance is very low, okay? These are the main disadvantages you have. Here you can observe user CPU, RAM, disk usage, and also having the license cost. Okay. After done with this, we are going to talk about container technology. What is container technology? Why it is needed? Okay. Container technology is more efficient because there is no guest operating system. Here utilizes host operating system, relevant libraries and resources when they're required. When it is required, then only the CPU, memory, everything is going to taking. Okay. The libraries, related libraries, when they're required, it is going to utilize. Otherwise, there is not any taking. Okay. So there is no guest operating system also. Okay, we have only one operating system when the libraries are required, so that it can utilize at that when they are required. Okay, so coming to Docker, Docker is a company name. It provides the container technology. Okay, what is the advantages, major advantages in this? I want to show you. Okay, Docker is a platform container or software which will usually build our application, package them with dependencies required into containers. Further, these containers are easily shipped into other machine. Suppose you want to deploy an application, it's very simple to deploy by using Docker. Okay, so you have to write the code. You can package with the required dependencies and containerize them, easily shipped into other machines. Other machines are nothing but other servers you can deploy easily. Then you can access the server. You can access your application. Okay, so we have only one OS, which is host OS. In that we have container engine, binaries and libraries when the apps require, when you are deploying an application, when they require the libraries, then only it is going to utilize. Otherwise, it's not going to use anything. Okay, so this performance is very high and also it is very lightweight as well. Okay, you can see the advantages of container technology. Containers are very small and lightweight as they share same OS kernel. The same the same thing are going to share, right? So there is no guest operating system and there is no guest operating system. We have only host operating system. The host operating system, when the required, then only it is going to utilize depending upon the libraries and dependents. Okay. So they do not take much time to boot up. So it doesn't take much time rather than virtualization. Coming to virtualization, it takes much time to boot process, right? To exhibit high performance with resource utilization, the performance is very high. Okay, even it is utilizing lower resources. Okay, and these are the major difference between virtualization and containerization, which is virtualization very heavyweight because there are two operating systems and also spreading the RAM and CPU. The performance is very low and boot up process is very, it takes much time. So coming to containerization, there is more advantages rather than virtualization in containerization, right? So lightweight and there is no guest operating system. And also when the required dependencies, then only it is going to utilize like libraries and all. Okay, these are the major difference between we have between virtualization and containerization. Now coming to, I'm going to talk about types of applications. We have two types of application: stateless application, stateful application. Coming to stateless application, it doesn't store the data. Like you don't need to store any data in this particular thing. Okay, suppose if you take Python, Java, or HTML, it doesn't store any data, right? So only front end page you are able to see. This comes under the stateless applications. Coming to stateful application, it stores some data like MongoDB, MySQL database. If you take them, it going to use, it going to store some data. So this comes under the stateful application. What is the purpose of Docker? The purpose of Docker is we have two types of application, monolithic architecture and microservice architecture. Now I want to show you what is the difference between them. Okay, suppose I am having a website. So suppose I'm going to take here, which is Amazon website. In this Amazon, we have several types of services like account setup, and then like cart option, and then sales, and then written option. So we have several types of services we have in this particular website, right? So this every service going to store the data in one particular instance and one particular database. Okay, this comes under the monolithic architecture. What happens is if the sales service is not working, the entire application won't work because this is also sharing the same memory. If it is not working, the entire application is not working. So this is the major disadvantage in monolithic architecture. Okay. Coming to microservice architecture. So don't say. So same thing I want to take here. So suppose you take Amazon. Okay. Here I am going to take. Here I am going to take the account setup. Okay. And then sales, and then cart, and then written option. We have several types of things we have. So just I'm going to take only four options. Okay. For every service taking different databases. Okay. And different instances as well. Different servers is going to maintain. Suppose if this service is not working, this card service is not working, the remaining service will work. So the entire application will work. So it is not working when they are using same database, right? And also same instance they are using. So the application will be collapsed even one service is not working. So coming to microservice architecture, even one service is not working, the application will be work. So this is the major difference between microservice and monolithic architecture. Okay. So these are the so here you can observe the main difference observe in the diagram. Okay, single instance using monolithic architecture. Coming to microservice, you're using different services, different servers, and different databases. So the performance is also very high in microservice architecture. Okay, suppose here you can observe. I want to show you this. So in microservice, application having 4 GB in every service in app. Okay. For registration, it's take 1 GB. For sales, it's take 1 GB. For accounts, it's take 1 GB. For dashboard, it's take 1 GB. Suppose the website, the Amazon announced some deals, okay, up to 90% discounts, then the sales will be automatically increased, right? So at that time, the increase, the total will be increased. So they increase for sales up to 2 GB. Okay, the total is 3 GB. Previously, they take only 1 GB for everything. If they announce the discount, the sales will be automatically increased, right? So for that, we need more data to store, right? So added 2 GB data. So for that, we are going to utilize this. Okay. How to install Docker? We can install the Docker in three ways: through DigitalOcean link, through official website, through getdocker.com. So it's very simple to install Docker. Okay. How you can install Docker is, I think you hope understand. If you do not understand, please let me know in the comments. Now I am going to install Docker. If you want to install Docker, definitely you should need a server. In that server, you can install it. Click on instances. Click on launch instance. Give the name. is Docker. Click on Ubuntu. Go with T2 medium. Okay, search for T2 medium. Okay, click on this T2 medium and click on create new key pair. So create key pair, which is Docker key. Click on create key pair. Okay, then click on launch instance. Click on this instance ID. So meanwhile, okay, click on connect. Okay, in web, I'm going to connect this. Okay, sudo -a to become root user. Clear this. So I have to update the system. I have to update -y. Clear this. So what I am supposed to do is we have to install Docker in this server. How you can install Docker? Apt install docker.io -y. This is the command to install Docker. Okay. You can observe the version whether the Docker is installed or not. Docker hyphen version. So the Docker has been installed, right? So here what I supposed to do is if you want to display in front end page, which is Nginx, what you supposed to do is you have to install Nginx and you have to go the default path. In that we have index.html. So you have to restart the Nginx, then you can observe what the content we have in the index.html, right? So that process I am not going to do by using Docker. I just using one command to display the front end page, which is Nginx. So this is the command you have to use in the Docker. Docker run -name. You have to give the container name. I'm going to give the container name, which is Nginx -d, which is detach mode -p port forwarding. The default port of the Nginx is 80. Okay. Nginx colon latest, which is image name. And here you have to give which port you want to run, which is host port and which is default port. You have to give the host port. which port you want to use. So I just want to use 84. Just copy this command, paste it, enter. Sorry, hyphen name. Okay, done. Now you have to allow the port number which is 84. Host port number you have to allow in the security groups. So click on the security group, click on inbound rules, add rule, which is 84. Anywhere, click on save rules. Now copy the public IP. So just open the new tab, colon 84. So the Nginx page is going to display, right? So without manual installation, so by using Docker, containerized, by using containers, I want to install and some web page has been opened. So this is the process we have. From tomorrow, we are going to understand what is image, what is container, and what is the Docker architecture, how the Docker architecture is going to work. These things you are going to understand. So if you have any queries, please let me know in the comments.